Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. Movies is surprisingly small considering the size of everything else, so let's get into this right now. We have some follow-ups. Again, the meat and potatoes of our episode today is follow-ups in everything. So our first follow-up has to do with Fast X. We have a new director, which, I mean, it took a couple weeks and they lost a few $1 million because of it, but we now have Louis Leterrier behind the camera. That's really the only update that's worth talking about for that movie, so we're moving right along. Next, we have Dune Part 2. We have Christopher Walken joining the cast, as well as Florence Pugh and Austin Butler. Christopher Walken is supposed to be Emperor Shaddam IV. Florence Pugh will be his daughter Irulan, and Austin Butler will be playing Feyd-Rautha, the Harkonnen that is going to be taking the Shaddam Emperor. He's the next in line for the power and the things and the stuff. And I think Christopher Walken as the Emperor is a brilliant casting choice, assuming our information is correct. That is what we have for follow-ups. Let's get into trailers. We finally have our first taste of Avatar. We also have the subtitle for the next movie, Avatar, The Way of Water. Avatar, The Way of Water. I don't know if this trailer does enough to get me to want to watch this movie. After watching the first one, I don't know if I have to watch the second one. I kind of get it. Sorry, I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me, but it's there if you want to see it. Also, we have a new Adam Sandler movie called Hustle that is going to be coming to Netflix, and it is another serious role for Adam Sandler, which I'm all for. After Uncut Gems, I think Adam Sandler should do plenty more serious roles, especially like Punch Drunk Love he was pretty great in, and I don't know, I feel like his comedies fall a little flat these days, and I don't know if that's just because of the changing of the tide, or he's just losing what made him an amazing comedian when he was younger. I don't know. Either way, drama seems to be the way to go, and that's what this one is. He's playing a basketball scout, and that's all I really remember from the synopsis. It just looks pretty good. Go watch the trailer, go watch the show when it comes out, or the movie when it comes out. And then our one piece of news for the movie section has to do with something that I didn't think we were ever going to get to talk about on the show necessarily, and that is Spinal Tap is getting a sequel. That's right. Spinal Tap. So after 40 years, we're finally seeing what happened to the guys in Spinal Tap. Did they find that elusive amplifier that went to 12? I don't know where they're going with this, honestly, but I can't wait to go for the ride. This is going to be a lot of fun, even if it's a train wreck. Like, there is honestly no way this could go anywhere in between. Either it's going to be amazing because it's well done comedy, or it's going to be amazing because it's just so bad. I don't see this going anywhere down the middle, but I could be wrong, and it could be god-awful boring. Who knows until it comes out? We don't, so we're moving on. That is what we have for the movie section proper, so let's get into movie suggestions. We're going to do two suggestions for movies this week. Spinal Tap, the first movie, is going to be our first suggestion because if you haven't seen it, you owe it to yourself to watch it. And if you haven't seen it, then you should have no right to be excited about the sequel. But the other one is a Guy Ritchie movie. I'm a bit of a Guy Ritchie fan, and I honestly just watched The Gentleman, even though I wanted to see it in theaters, and I totally wish now that I had seen it in theaters because it was an incredible amount of fun. If you are a fan of Guy Ritchie's style, this is the most Guy Ritchie movie to ever Guy Ritchie, at least since Snatch, which is probably my favorite Guy Ritchie movie. So yeah, totally worth a watch. This is surprisingly good. Matthew McConaughey is incredibly dynamic in this movie, and Charlie Hunnam's accent just doesn't know where it's coming from, which is kind of worth the watch in and of itself because that part is so bad. The rest of it, great fun, but whew, Charlie Hunnam, bro, you are British. You know this, right? I don't, like, this isn't news? Anyway, go watch Gentlemen, go watch Spinal Tap. That is our suggestions for the week in movies. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long-form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.